The Epstein files just exploded. Meghan Markle officially named, with pics of her in a bathrobe cozying up to an Asian guy in a hotel room. That bracelet she never takes off, clear as day. The Royal Victim Act is over.
The Epstein file saga has exploded once again into the public eye. And this time the shockwaves are hitting Monteito hard. Conservative commentator Candace Owens dropped a bombshell claim that has set social media ablaze. She alleges that newly released documents from Jeffrey Epstein's files officially name Meghan Markle, complete with compromising images showing her in a bathrobe in a hotel room setting next to an Asian man. Owens insists the bracelet Meghan is famously known for wearing is clearly visible in the photo, tying it directly to her identity. Adding fuel to the fire, Dan Wootton, the outspoken royal critic, shared a strikingly similar image on his Instagram and reportedly others from the files, captioning it in a way that screams implication without outright saying the name. The post went viral in anti-Sussex circles with likes and shares skyrocketing as speculation ran wild. Today, the royal exile's carefully curated image is cracking under the weight of these allegations. Meghan was reportedly summoned for crisis talks, facing the real possibility of being ostracized from the royal family overnight. Not just distanced, but completely cut off in ways that could end any lingering hope of reconciliation or residual protection. Do not look away. In the next few minutes, we are diving deep into what Owens called the ultimate receipt and why Dan Wootton's post feels like the match that lit the fuse. We will unpack the bracelet detail that insiders say is impossible to ignore, trace the timeline of these pre-royal years, and reveal how this latest Epstein dump has palace insiders whispering about a security nightmare that could force King Charles to draw the hardest line yet. The files are open. The questions are brutal. Stay with us. This wasn't just another rumor cycle. According to sources familiar with Owens' commentary, she cross-referenced what she describes as leaked or newly public Epstein materials, part of the massive January 2026 Justice Department release of over 3 million pages, thousands of images and videos with her own network of tips. The claim centers on a specific photograph. A woman in a white bathrobe, face partially obscured or turned away, standing or interacting near a man of Asian descent in what appears to be a luxury hotel suite. The robe, the posture, the setting, all eerily reminiscent of the kind of private off-the-record moments Epstein's circle allegedly captured. But the detail that stops people cold. That signature bracelet. Meghan has worn variations of it for years. A thin, distinctive piece often spotted in public appearances, from red carpets to casual outings. Owens pointed to it as the smoking gun. If it's not her, explain the bracelet she never takes off. Insiders say this image or set of images surfaced in the broader Epstein trove, which included everything from island photos to hotel logs and private gatherings. While the official releases focused heavily on figures like Prince Andrew with grotesque new images reigniting calls for accountability, scattered mentions and visuals pulled in tangential names from elite social orbits. Meghan's pre-royal life, the struggling actress phase, the Soho House connections, the international travel has long been scrutinized for impossible math. How does a deal or no-deal briefcase model afford the lifestyle? Owens argues these files provide context, not direct island visits, no flight logs name her outright, but overlappings of high-end mixers where aspiring talent met powerful patrons. Dan Wootton's Instagram drop amplified it overnight. The image he posted shows a similar scene, robe-clad woman, clipboard or papers in hand, interacting with a man in casual attire in an opulent room with heavy curtains and warm lighting. No explicit caption names Meghan, but the timing, the context of his ongoing Sussex critiques and the Epstein files #storm made the implication crystal clear. In royal watching communities, it exploded. Is this the one? The bracelet matches. Dan wouldn't post without knowing. Wootton has built a career on royal scoops, and this felt deliberate, a visual nudge in a sea of redactions and denials. The fallout was immediate. Reports surfaced that Meghan was summoned. Palace language for an urgent no-escape meeting. Sources close to the situation describe it as a reckoning. King Charles, already strained by ongoing Andrew fallout from the same files, reportedly faced pressure to address this head-on. The concern not just optics but security. If these images are authenticated as linked to Epstein's world, even peripherally, it revives questions about foreign influence, unexplained access, and potential compromise. The royal family has spent years distancing from Epstein ties, mostly Andrew's. But this pulls in the Sussex narrative, a new ostracism overnight. Insiders say it's on the table. Strip remaining titles, cut security, block any backdoor influence. Harry, still loyal but increasingly isolated, reportedly faced the brutal choice again. Defend his wife or protect his children from the fallout. To understand why this hit so hard, we have to rewind to Meghan's pre-Harry era. The years between 2008 and 2016 are the black hole in her official story. Publicly, bit parts, suits filming in Toronto, modest income; privately, whispers of elite parties, Soho House events, Mediterranean getaways. Marcus Anderson, the Soho House Global Membership Director, often called her best friend, allegedly curated introductions to circles where capital met ambition. Epstein's network overlapped with similar elite spaces, private jets, island retreats, hotel suites for networking. Owens' claim isn't that Meghan was a core player. It's that she was in the ecosystem. And photos like these, if real, are the proof the palace vetting supposedly missed or ignored. The bracelet becomes the anchor. Meghan's jewelry choices are deliberate. She rewears signature pieces as personal branding. Snorts, if that exact item appears in a context tied to Epstein associates, it shatters the self-made narrative. Palace security protocols flag unexplained wealth or access as red flags. A hotel room photo with the wrong company. That's not gossip. That's a potential leverage point. King Charles, navigating his own health battles and the Andrew crisis, reportedly sees this as a bridge too far. No more shadows. One insider paraphrased. The summon was clear. Explain it or face the consequences. This leads us to the palace panic. The Epstein files release in early 2026 was massive. Videos, images, emails flooding out under congressional mandate. While headlines chased Andrew's compromising poses and other big names, quieter corners noted overlaps with Hollywood-adjacent elites. Meghan's name popped in benign contexts, media mentions, article publicity values, but the visual claims from Owens and Wooten shifted the narrative. Social media erupted. Reddit threads dissecting the robe photo, X posts zooming on the bracelet, TikToks comparing timelines. The anti-Sussex subreddit lit up with Dan knows speculation. Wooten's post with its blurred faces and suggestive framing became Exhibit A. Insiders say Meghan's team went into damage control mode. Denials flew, fabricated, misidentified, old rumor recycled. But the summon suggests internal alarm. Harry, ever protective, reportedly pushed back. It's not what it looks like. Yet the family sees patterns, yacht rumors, unexplained trips. The Marcus connection. If this photo is from a pre-royal networking event, it explains the rise. And if it's Epstein-linked, even tangentially, it's toxic. Ostracism means no more soft landings. No UK visits without scrutiny. No residual perks, full exile. The security angle is chilling. British intelligence vets spouses rigorously unexplained photos in elite predator circles. That's compromised territory. King Charles protecting the institution reportedly drew the line. Address it fully or lose everything. Meghan faces the impossible. Prove it's not her or watch the doors slam shut forever. Taking a brief moment from this unrelenting storm of revelations and denials. I want to pause and truly connect with you, our razor-sharp, unflinching community of truth-seekers. In this dark era dominated by elite cover-ups, selective outrage from the powerful and justice that seems to bend only for the connected few. It is your unwavering vigilance, your refusal to accept the sanitized narratives pushed by legacy media that keeps the flickering flame of real accountability alive and burning bright. Whether you're scrolling from the rain-soaked streets of London, the sun-drenched boulevards of Los Angeles, the bustling heart of New York, or quiet corners across the globe, know that you're not alone in this fight. Drop your city and country in the comments below right now. Let's map out how far this network of awake minds truly stretches. We're building something unbreakable here together. Now, with that shared resolve, let's plunge straight back into the heart of the crisis. Why does this explosive moment feel like the definitive tipping point that could shatter everything? Because the Epstein files are no longer shadowy internet whispers or dismissed conspiracy fodder. They are now stark public reality dumped in massive tranches by official channels for anyone with the stomach to dig. Candace Owens' incendiary claim, supercharged by Dan Wooten's provocative visual drop on Instagram, doesn't just stir debate. It demands raw, unavoidable confrontation from the highest levels. That bracelet isn't some subtle accessory anyone could overlook. It's Meghan's unmistakable trademark, a constant in photos from red carpets to casual walks. A piece she clings to like a talisman of her personal brand. If forensic matching holds up under scrutiny, angles, lighting, clasp details, it irrevocably ties her image to a shadowy world the royal family has spent decades desperately trying to distance itself from. Palace sources are already whispering in hushed, urgent tones about frantic emergency conference calls echoing through corridors. This single development could obliterate any lingering dream of reconciliation or quiet reintegration. Prince Harry, torn between fierce personal loyalty to his wife and the crushing weight of his royal legacy, now stares down the barrel of the hardest, most soul-crushing truth he has ever faced. The hotel room image itself drags up far deeper, more unsettling questions that refuse to be silenced. Who exactly is the Asian man standing there in the frame? A financier with deep pockets? A connector in elite international circles? Or something even more opaque? The context screams calculated meeting rather than innocent vacation downtime. The opulent yet discreet suite. The papers or clipboard clutched in hand. The private closed-door atmosphere that Epstein's entire operation was engineered to exploit for discreet high-stakes encounters. If this truly captures Meghan in her pre-Suits era back when she was still grinding through auditions and minor roles far from global fame, it completely reframes her meteoric ascent from relative obscurity to Duchess. It shifts the narrative away from pure talent and hard work alone towards something far more calculated, strategic placement within powerful networks where ambition meets ruthless opportunity. Owens has bluntly dubbed it the C-list to Duchess pipeline. A cold transactional ladder climbed not just through talent, but through curated access to the right rooms, the right people, and the right compromises at the right time. Dan Wootton's role in detonating this cannot possibly be overstated. His every move feels meticulously timed and weighted. This wasn't some casual off-the-cuff share. It was a calculated strike designed for maximum impact in the already feverish royal watching ecosystem. Within the tight-knit royal snark communities on Reddit, X, and private forums, his post is being hailed as near confirmation. The visual equivalent of a smoking gun. The robe's drape, the woman's stance and posture, the lavish room's heavy curtains and warm lighting. Every element aligns too precisely for mere coincidence. Wootton, a veteran of explosive Sussex scoops and no stranger to pushing boundaries others fear, fully understands the viral detonation this would cause. His accompanying caption subtly hints at the broader dismantling of elite structures, seamlessly linking this single image to the wider wave of Epstein-related outrage that continues to erode public trust in the powerful. He knows exactly how these dots connect in the public mind, and he dropped them without apology. The royal family's response has been a masterclass in controlled fury. Deafening public silence paired with sting private outrage that insiders describe as volcanic. King Charles, already battered by the endless fallout from his brother's Andrew scandal in the very same Epstein files, reportedly sees this as Andrew 20 on steroids. But infinitely more dangerous because it clings to the still active Sussex brand which continues to trade shamelessly on royal adjacency for relevance and revenue. True ostracism would mean far more than polite distance. It would demand explicit public disavowal, formal statements severing ties, renewed pushes in Parliament for title revocation, and an ironclad block on any back-channel influence or perks. For Harry, the personal cost is isolation on a scale he may never have imagined, cut off from family support networks entirely. For Meghan, it risks total erasure from the royal historical narrative, reducing her chapter to a cautionary footnote rather than an ongoing story of empowerment. This entire chapter rips open the rotten underbelly of the global elite in ways few dare to confront head-on. Epstein's predatory world was never some isolated island aberration. It bled into Hollywood's glittering parties, political backrooms, and even royal-adjacent social orbits. Meghan's alleged tangential presence, whether through a genuine photo or overlapping networks of handlers and patrons, brutally illustrates how raw ambition learns to navigate those dangerous shadows, trading access for elevation. And that bracelet. It's the stubborn, unyielding detail that simply refuses to fade into the background noise. A persistent visual anchor pulling everything back into focus no matter how hard the spin machine tries. As the pressure cooker intensifies by the hour, Meghan and her team are reportedly mounting a fierce counter-offensive, labeling the entire affair a vicious fabricated smear campaign engineered by enemies. Yet the summon to the palace undeniably happened. The ostracism threat hangs like a guillotine, real and immediate. The family cannot simply wave away visuals that have surfaced in official government-released files. Ignoring them would invite even greater scrutiny and accusations of complicity. Harry now stands teetering on the absolute precipice. Defend his wife with everything he has left and risk burning every remaining bridge to his birth family forever. Or reluctantly accept the brutal cut, swallow the pain, and attempt to salvage whatever scraps of personal peace and legacy remain for himself and his children. The true climax arrives with the ultimatum itself, a moment insiders say was delivered with icy finality by King Charles in person or through trusted channels. The directive was crystal clear and utterly non-negotiable. Come clean completely. Cooperate fully with any legitimate inquiries into the image's origins and context. Sever every lingering tie to questionable networks or figures from that era or face permanent irrevocable exile from the royal fold with no path back. There can be no more half measures, no more half-in, half-out illusions. If that bracelet photo withstands authentication, if experts confirm the match beyond reasonable doubt, it becomes the absolute uncrossable line in the sand. Prince William, fiercely protective of the institution he will one day lead, stands fully behind the stance, viewing it as essential safeguarding of the crown's integrity. King Charles, Shitseer, weary from years of family fractures and his own health battles, yet resolute in his duty, enforces it without hesitation. The clock is ticking, the choices are narrowing, and the consequences are existential. Harry's world shrinks by the day. The once vibrant Monteito dream now suffocating under layers of mounting threats and relentless scrutiny. What began as a bold escape from royal constraints has morphed into a gilded trap where every financial strain, every public misstep, and now this explosive Epstein-linked allegation tightens the noose. Meghan's carefully constructed brand rooted in themes of fierce independence, female empowerment, and breaking barriers faces total collapse as these shadowy images circulate unchecked. The files themselves may not directly accuse her of any crimes. No smoking gun of wrongdoing emerges from the official documents, but the implication clings like smoke. Proximity to Epstein's orbit, even peripheral, poisons the narrative irreparably. What was once whispered in dark corners of the internet, now roars in headlines and comment sections alike. Ostracism that arrived overnight hardens into something permanent. A lifelong exile from the institution that once defined her ascent with no path back to forgiveness, no lingering perks, no quiet reconciliation. The family line has been drawn and crossing it now seems impossible. In the opulent yet eerily silent gilded cage of their Monteito estate, an atmosphere of heavy silence reigns supreme, broken only by the distant crash of Pacific waves that once symbolized freedom. The Snort's infamous bathrobe photo lingers like a ghost in every room. Its details replayed endlessly in minds and on screens. The white terry cloth, the ambiguous posture, the presence of the unidentified Asian man in the luxury hotel suite. Most haunting of all is the bracelet. That signature piece Meghan has worn consistently through years of public life. From red carpets to casual family snaps, now allegedly glinting in the same compromising frame, it refuses to be dismissed as coincidence. It anchors the speculation, turning blurry suggestion into pointed accusation. The royal door, once left slightly ajar for possible future dialogue, slams shut with finality. No more soft diplomacy. No more behind-the-scenes olive branches. This isn't mere tabloid scandal anymore. Its raw, unforgiving consequence crashing down after years of ambition unchecked. Meghan's relentless drive to climb, to network, to position herself at the pinnacle, met the brutal reality of elite worlds that demand discretion and exact heavy tolls when secrets surface. The broader elite class, those untouchable circles of power, influence, and hidden dealings, begins to crumble under the weight of its own contradictions, exposed yet again by the relentless drip of Epstein revelations. The core lesson cuts deeper than any single headline. Secrets, no matter how carefully buried or how fiercely denied, rarely stay in forever. Jeffrey Epstein's sprawling files with their mountains of documents, photos, and connections released in waves through 2026 stand as irrefutable proof of that grim truth. What was once compartmentalized in private servers and redacted reports now floods into public view, forcing uncomfortable reckonings across politics, entertainment, and royalty. Candace Owens with her unfiltered platform and willingness to voice the unspeakable. And Dan Wooten leveraging his insider royal knowledge and provocative Instagram drops have together forced the blinding light of scrutiny onto corners long kept dark. Their amplification turns whispers into demands for answers. For Meghan, this moment crystallizes the hardest truth she may ever confront. Some ties, associations, and past proximities simply cannot be explained away with charm, peace statements, or legal threats. The bracelet, that small personal emblem, becomes symbolic of everything she can't outrun. No amount of rebranding erases the questions now etched in the public mind. The elite game she once navigated so adept has turned against her, revealing that true power lies not in ascent alone, but in the shadows one leaves undisturbed. Now the verdict rests squarely in your hands, the discerning community that sees through the spin. Was this bathrobe image and its bracelet detail the final undeniable nail in the coffin of the Sussex narrative or merely another vicious fabricated smear designed to destroy? Type Team Truth in the comments if you believe these photos and the surrounding claims demand serious unflinching answers no matter who they implicate. Type Team Sussex if you view this as yet another coordinated hit piece. Recycled rumors weaponized against a couple already under siege. Smash that like button if you stand for genuine elite accountability, holding the powerful to the same standards they preach, exposing networks that thrive in darkness. The Epstein files are out in the open, the implications undeniable, and the reckoning is unfolding right now. I'll see you in the next one. Stay vigilant.